Good morning, everybody. 2 minutes until we get started with our Thursday morning flow. My messy hair don't care. Let's see who's going to join us this morning. Who will be the first? If you got that playlist that I sent on Spotify, go ahead and start it now. That first song lasts a few minutes just to get us started. Maybe you want to lay back in Shavasana if you were coming in the hot room this morning and relax. So just lay back, take a couple minutes, and then we will get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday morning Vinyasa. Anyone who's joining me now, or maybe even later in the day, that's what I'm loving actually about these flows is getting to take classes from teachers that I normally probably wouldn't because I can't make it out to like Coeur d'Alene regularly and things like that, or I don't live that close in the valley. So it's cool to be able to just like take these classes whenever. So for those joining me now, for those joining me later, hello, welcome. My name is Amanda. I teach up at the North Studio most of the time, though you'll find me practicing probably a lot more at the South Hill Studio. I live South Hill and work up north, so yeah, you kind of see me all over the place. We're going to get started with our flow this morning. 7:01. You got your water, your towel. I've got some blocks with me. I love using blocks in class. If you've got one, grab it. You may want it. I usually offer some modifications and then also some ways that blocks can help you get stronger in the pose, which technically is what a modification is, right? So let's get started this morning in child's pose. We're going to bring our knees wide on the mat, our toes together to touch, walking our fingertips forward, resting your head on the mat, and just releasing into this pose, taking a few moments just to recognize your breath, how thankful you are for that breath, how thankful you are for this body, this mind, for everything that we have right now. Gratitude. Gratitude is what will get us through. Yes? In yoga, we do poses, asanas. That's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. Pranayama is another one. Pranayama is the breath work that we do. And in yoga, the breath that we do is an ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. So we breathe in through the nose, and then constricting the whisper muscles in the back of the throat, we have this loud, audible exhale. And the more that we can keep that breath going through the practice, the more that it starts to calm down our systems, like our parasympathetic nervous system and things like that. That helps to aid us in decreasing depression and anxiety and stuff like that. So as you're going through these poses, try to keep that breath in and out through the nose as much as possible. If you're feeling that you are unable to, or you feel like you need to gasp for air, maybe it's time to take a break or take a modification. And you can always do that in your child's pose or perhaps a shavasana. Here we are in our child's pose, and let's work on moving one breath, one movement, which is what we like to do in Vinyasa class. So on your inhale, walk those fingertips forward towards the front of your mat. Inhaling as you creep those fingers forward, big inhale in through the nose, and then exhale the hips down towards the heels. Inhale, walking those fingertips forward. Exhale, hips down to your heels. Big breath in as you walk those fingertips forward. Exhale, hips closer to your heels, feeling that stretch. And now let's inhale and walk our fingertips up and over to the right. Maybe we place our left hand on top of our right, and then take our hips over towards the left heel, feeling that side body stretch. And now let's inhale back to center and walk our hands up and over to the left. Maybe that right hand on top as we sink our hips down towards our right heel. Feeling that side body stretch on this side. Inhale up through center over to the right. Exhale down. Inhale up and over to the left. And exhale down. Let's bring it back to center. This time we're going to thread the needle from our child's pose, taking our left arm under, coming down on our shoulder, left ear, threading the needle and feeling that twist. This time as we use our breath, inhaling and reaching those right fingertips forward towards the mat, exhaling and reaching that left arm a little further towards the side of the mat, really engaging that twist to get deeper. Detoxing the internal organs as we twist. Inhaling and reaching, exhaling and twisting deeper. Breath in as we reach, exhale as we twist. And then let's release it back to center, back to that child's pose, taking a cleansing breath in and a breath out. And now let's thread the needle on the other side, taking this right arm out, coming down on right shoulder, right ear. Inhaling as we walk those fingertips forward. Exhaling as we twist. Taking our deep breaths in and out as we relax and release into this twist. And now let's release out, coming back to our child's pose, taking a breath in, breath out. Let's bring the palms of our hands together, bending our elbows, and bring the thumbs to the nape of your neck. And now let's release that and bring our hands clasping them at our sacrum, forehead on the mat as we release. Deep shoulder stretch. And release. Coming up to our tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Biceps spinning in towards each other. Smiles of the eye of the elbows here pointing towards each other. Taking our cat-cows. Inhale, cow pose, eyes and tailbone to the sky. Exhale into cat. Cow, inhale. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Moving one breath, one movement. Now as you move through these poses, taking any intuitive movements that feel good here. Maybe sending that right hip down to the right heel. Feeling that stretch. Taking those circles with your neck. Before we come back to the center, Now let's pop our toes, and as we inhale, exhale, back, kind of feeling that stretch. Inhaling forward, exhale, back, inhale, forward, exhale, hips down towards your heels. One more. Now let's turn our fingers back towards us, our fingertips pointing back towards our knees, and then exhale as we reach it back, feeling that stretch in the wrists. Inhaling forward, exhale back. And now flipping our palms back. Maybe we want to come onto the tops of our hands, kind of feeling that stretch of the wrists. Tops of the feet flat on the mat. Think back to our heels. Let's bring our knees together. Then we're going to lift our knees up, feeling this kind of stretch of the tops of the feet. Hands into heart center, maybe as we hold here in this kind of weird spot. But just a nice stretch of the feet. And then we'll bring it down. Arms up overhead. Let's grab right wrist to left hand. Inhale, up and over to the right. Back to center, up and over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Inhale, exhale over to the right. And back to center and over to the left. And center. Now let's take, we're going to take our right ear to our right shoulder, bringing our right hand to our left ear, feeling that stretch of the neck. Maybe we want to send that left arm out, feeling a little stretch on the arm as well. And let's inhale back to center and switch sides. And release. Let's look down, chin to chest, up, back to center and right, and left. Up, down, chin to chest, and right, and left. Coming up to standing on our knees, arms above our head, our right foot out. And let's take our gate pose, bringing that right hand down to our right thigh, reaching over as we inhale, and back to center. Left foot out, reaching up and over. And back to center. Coming back to our child's pose just for a moment. Resetting. Wide on the mat. Hips down towards your heels. Arms outstretched in front of you. Walking those fingertips forward on that inhale. Exhaling hips to your heels. Inhale, reaching those fingertips. Exhale, hips to heels. And now let's pop up to our downward facing dog. First one of the day, perhaps. We'll take that dog for a walk, bending the right knee, bending the left. Let's shake our head, yes. Shake it no. Popping the right heel up to the sky. We'll bend the knee and open up the hip. Taking some hip circles, perhaps. And then we'll bring that down. Left heel rises. Those hip circles. And then bringing that down. Inhale. Exhale. Fill up. Empty. Big breath in. Release. Let's walk our feet to our hands. Meeting in that forward fold at the top of your mat. Take opposite hand to opposite elbows as you ragdoll. Letting that head hang. Swaying side to side. Maybe you want to clasp those fingers, bring them to the nape of your neck, and really feeling that pull down. Feeling that stretch up the backs of your legs, even into your low back. Now releasing those fingertips to the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Rising up, extended mountain pose. Reaching up. Let's cactus our arms and take a back bend. Look back, go back. Exhale, rise. Hands coming through heart center. Gently close your eyes. And let's set an intention for your practice today. All right, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Let's step back to our high plank. Wrists under shoulders. We can drop down, modify to our knees if possible. We're going to hold in this high plank just for a second. Push back to our downward facing dog. Making sure that we didn't have to adjust our hands or feet. Let's pop back to our high plank. And now without having to adjust, coming back to our downward facing dog, and we know we're in the right alignment in both knees. Yeah. Back to our high plank. Lowering down to your bellies, setting up for our cobra pose, waking up the spine a little bit. Bring the tops of our feet to the mat, toes together to touch. Pushing the tops of our feet into the mat so much that our knees are coming up off the mat. Wrists are under our shoulders, popping those elbows. Inhale, little to no weight in the hands as you lift. And exhale down. Maybe just a little bit more weight in the hands, maybe like 25% of the weight if we want to do math this morning. Inhale, lift up a little higher. And down. Now maybe 50% of the weight. And release. And now let's take it to an upward facing dog. Inhale as we rise. And moving with the core, belly button and the spine, pushing back to that downward facing dog. We take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Fill up. Empty. Walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat for your forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising up, reaching up, taking that extended mountain pose. Let's cactus those arms, back bend, look back, go back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, jump back maybe, down to your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Filling up. Empty. Walk, step, or jump. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Rising up to that extended mountain pose. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Step back, jump back, moving through your vinyasa, lowering down on that exhale. Inhaling to rise, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Filling up, empty. Big breath in, release. And now let's send this right heel up to the sky. We're gonna bring it forward for a low lunge, and then bring that right foot back up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, that foot forward. Bring it back up, three-legged dog. Low lunge. Three-legged dog. And now let's plant it, coming up to our warrior one. Hands to the mat. Follow me this one. Let's take our right hand, this is our left hand to the mat. We're gonna bring this right arm around and put it back towards the back of our mat. And then we're going to flip around to our Skandasana. And then Skandasana on the other side. Planting our hands to the right, sending that right foot back to that three-legged dog. Bend the knee, opening up the hip. Maybe we want to flip our dog. Maybe we can take this to that full wheel. And then meeting in our three-legged dog. And bringing that foot down. Left foot rises, bringing it to that low lunge on that inhale. Exhale, three-legged dog. Bringing it forward, pushing back and forward, pushing back. Now we're going to plant that left foot. Right foot spins down at 45-degree angle as we rise into our warrior one. Hands plant, right hand plants this time. Taking this left arm back, pointing back towards the back of the mat, and then flipping all the way around for our Skandasana. Opposite side. Planting those hands, spinning this left foot back, bending the knee and opening up the hip. Staying here in this three-legged dog if you would like. Maybe flipping your dog, maybe taking it to that full wheel. Leaning back in our three-legged dog. Left foot meets the right, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Biggest breath in. Release. Walking our feet to our hands, walk, step, or jump. Meeting that forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's bring our toes together to touch. Heels slightly apart. Sinking our hips into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms up overhead. Belly button into spine. Tailbone tucking. Shoulder blades back and down. Sinking into that super comfortable chair, yes? Maybe we bring our hands together, our palms together to touch. Holding here. Using the breath to reach, inhale. Exhale, go a little deeper. Feeling this muscle wrap around the bone. And now exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Step back, jump back. Lowering down in the exhale through chaturanga, perhaps. Inhaling to rise. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Let's bring this right foot forward. Warrior one. Arms down, planting that left hand. Right arm reaches back. Taking a Skandasana. Other side. Hands plant, send this right foot up to the sky. And bring it down. Left heel rises. Taking that warrior one. Hands down to the mat. Left arm swoops back. Swooping over. Skandasana. Other side. Planting those hands to the right, sending that left foot high. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Filling up. Emptying. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Toes together to touch. Heels slightly apart. As we rise into our Utkatasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chest to thigh, sending those arms back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, rise. Take that chest to thigh. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, jump back. Moving through your vinyasa, using the breath as the vehicle to move you through these poses. Exhaling all the way down. Inhaling to rise. Meeting that downward facing dog. Right leg rises. Warrior one. Holding here. In our warrior one. Arms up overhead. Going for 90-degree bend in this right knee. Not locking out that left knee joint. Arms up. Working on those hips pointed towards the front of the mat. Maybe we take this left hip forward, right hip back. Arms up overhead. Settling in to this warrior one. Maybe we bring our palms together to touch and we're gazing up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale up. And let's take those palms to the ground, moving through your flow. Exhaling as you lower. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Left heel rises. Warrior one. Working on that 90-degree bend in that left knee. Working that right hip forward, left hip back. Left knee tracking towards the pinky side toe of the left foot. We gaze down, we can just see our big toe peeking out. Arms up overhead. Maybe palms together to touch. Maybe the gaze is up. Inhale, look up, look back. Exhale, move through your vinyasa, moving in that downward facing dog. Once we get to a downward facing dog, take a big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty. Let's walk our feet to our hands. Walk, step, or jump, leaning in that forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Toes together to touch, heels slightly apart. Utkatasana, rise up. Ready to twist. Hands coming to heart center without moving our knees. We inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Are we ready? If you would like for side crow, this is your opportunity. If you're enjoying this twist, enjoy it. If you're in the twist, we are inhaling our head forward, crown of our head forward, exhaling, twisting open, peeling this right shoulder. If you want to try for that side crow, break it down. We're planting our hands, and we make chaturanga hands, right? That 90-degree bend with our elbows. We're making a little shelf for our right leg. So our right elbow is on our right hip, our left elbow is on our right knee, and then we're leaning forward into this and eventually lifting our feet up off the mat as we hold in this side crow. And everybody come back to center and down, forward fold, reaching for those toes. Let's take those peace fingers, grabbing a hold of the big toes, pulling the head down, feeling that stretch at the backs of the legs. Bending the knees here, maybe, feeling a little bit different stretch. And now releasing. Toes together to touch, heels slightly apart. Arms up overhead for our Utkatasana, sinking low. Hands coming into heart center. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, right elbow, left knee, and twist. Again, if we're in this twist, we're working on getting those hands back to heart center with that twist, peeling this left shoulder open. Maybe you want to open your arms, working on getting that bottom hand down to the ground, or maybe you're working on side crow on this side. Same rules apply. We plant our hands, working on those chaturanga arms, working on the left hip to the left elbow, right knee or left knee to right elbow, making that little shot and pitching forward. Wherever we are, let's meet back in center and then forward fold. Now we're going to take our gorilla pose, standing on the palms of our hands, elbows bending back towards our shins as we pull our head down, feeling that stretch up the backs of the legs, really pulling, biceps bulging, and release. Inhale to a flat back, step back, jump back, move through your flow, meet us in a downward facing dog, however you would like to get there. From our downward facing dog, we're going to take our right heel to the sky, bring it forward for warrior one, and then we're going to pitch forward to warrior three. So, coming up on the ball of the foot, inhaling up, and coming into this kind of capital T. We want our hips pointed down towards the ground, so this left hip lowers down, making that flat back. Arms can be out in front of us, maybe they're at our heart center. And now meeting back in our warrior one, opening to warrior two. Cartwheel those hands to the mat, move through your vinyasa, moving downward facing dog. Our left heel rises, warrior one. Arms up overhead. And now bringing more weight into that left foot as we push forward for our warrior three. Hip points pointing down towards the mat. Bring it back to our warrior one. Opening the warrior two. Cartwheeling those hands to the mat. Moving through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Once we're in our downward facing dog, we take our 3 breaths in. Big breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Filling your lungs. Emptying. Rock, step, or jump. Feet to your hands. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Rising up, extended mountain pose. Reach up. Look up. Cactus those arms. Take that back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Halfway lift, inhale. And now step back, jump back, moving through your vinyasa, lowering down through chaturanga, perhaps on your exhale. Inhaling, rise into upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. And then we're going to bring that right heel up. Right knee to our right elbow. Kick it back. Right knee to nose. Kick it back. Right knee to left elbow. Let's extend that right leg out, opening up, taking that fallen star. And now let's bring it back. Right heel rises, bringing it forward. Crescent lunge. Options for crescent lunge. We can be down on our knee. Now we're not in the awesome, super comfortable, padded hot room right now. So if you're on a hardwood floor or something and this is uncomfortable for your knee, you can always roll your mat up, giving yourself a little extra padding if you're down on your knee. Otherwise, we are in our crescent lunge. We're up on the ball mount of that left foot. Arms up overhead, preparing for our twist on this side. Hands at heart center, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, left elbow to right knee for that twist. Working on getting those hands back to heart center with that twist. So what are we doing? We're inhaling and we're lengthening the spine towards the front of our mat. Really think about the crown of the head pushing forward towards the front of the mat as we pull this right shoulder back. Inhaling and lengthening, exhaling and twisting, inhaling, exhaling and rinsing and detoxing out. Breath in, twist. Let's open up to warrior two. Reversing your warrior, send that right palm to the sky. Right elbow to right knee for that extended side angle. Reaching up and over. Taking your option here. If you have a block available and you're working on getting your hand to the mat, if you can get your hand flat to the mat, that is the goal. If you're not quite there, you can take a block, placing that on your hand, reaching forward. Maybe you're working on that half bind. Maybe you're working on that full bind. Maybe you can pop up to bird of paradise. It's always fun to see if I can do that in the morning. Extending that leg out. Birdies come on down. We're going to extend inside angle. Warrior two. Cartwheel those hands to the mat. Move through your vinyasa, meet me in downward facing dog. Roll our downward facing dog. Our left heel rises. We're going to bring our left knee to our left elbow. Take it back. Left knee to nose. Take it back. Left knee to right elbow and hold. Extend that left foot out, opening up to that final star. And then leaning back in our three-legged dog, bringing that left foot forward for crescent lunge. Arms up overhead. Again, options. You can be down on our back knee, arms up overhead, hands coming to heart center. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Taking our twist, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Breath in, breath out. Feeling that twist of the spine, opening up the chest, opening up the heart. And now let's meet in our warrior two. If you're modified, if you're on your knee, you can still take this warrior two modification if you'd like, and still down on your knee. And then we'll take our extended side angle. Maybe you're working on that half bind, full bind here. And perhaps you're able to pop up to that bird paradise on this side. Birdies, come on down. And let you rise up to that warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And then cartwheel those hands down to the mat, moving through your vinyasa, lowering down on that exhale. Inhaling to rise, pushing back, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty, feet to your hands. This time, making our feet as wide as the mat, setting down into our Malasana Yogi squat. Our heels are in, our toes are out. You may need to take a wider stance if this is feeling kind of weird to you. Hands into your heart center. Hanging out in this hip opener. Options from this pose. If you're working on crow, we can take it down. If you'd like just a little bit more of a flow, we could plant our left arm. Inhale, rising up. Maybe you can take a half bind on this side. Left arm. If you'd like to work on your crow arm balance, from our Malasana, we plant our hands. We're bringing our knees way far up into our armpits. Then we lift. If you're just playing with it, we lift one foot, then maybe the other, and then eventually, both toes lift up off the mat. And if we can hold this, the next thing we're trying to go for is shooting our legs back into Chaturanga. Wherever you are, let's get back in our Malasana, hands into heart center. Palms to the mat, sending our hips up to the sky, toe heeling our feet back together, feeding that forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Rising up, extended mountain pose. Let's take our eagle pose. Right arm under, right leg over. Sinking into this eagle. If this twist is not working for your shoulders, you can take the arms, or perhaps a butterfly hug. And sinking into this, holding belly button into spine, tailbone lifts as your pelvis, tailbone tucks as your pelvis lifts. Now let's release. Left arm under, left leg over, sinking in. Might need to use this left toe as a kickstand to help balance. Monday, Sunday goal is to get that toe wrapped around the calf. That may or may not happen today. And now let's release. Switching sides, eagle number 2. We're going to add on to it this time. So coming into our eagle with our right arm under and our right leg over. Sinking in that standing leg. Inhaling, our elbows up to our knees. Elbows to the exhale. Spinning this right leg back. Bound warrior 3. Opening up Dekasana airplane. And now, trying something wild, bringing our hands down to the mat for this standing split, bending that right knee, reaching back and grabbing a hold of the inside of the right foot in this sort of sugar cane, and then can we rise up to our dancer pose? And then let's bring it back to our Tadasana. I had no idea if that was going to work. That's the scariest thing about these live things. I can't see anybody else. So if it didn't work, that's fine. Let's try it on the other side. Arms up overhead, left arm under, left leg over. Find the brain. Now you know where we're going. See if it's easier on this side. Elbows up to shoulder height. I said elbows up to knees last time. That made no sense. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Let's send that left leg back. We're in our downward warrior 3. Opening up. They pass in the airplane. Hands down to the mat as we send that left leg high. Reaching back, grabbing a hold. Now I spoke too soon. Grabbing a hold of that left foot on the inside. And then rising up to our dancer. And releasing. Nice work. Let's take our tree pose real quick. Maybe we're kickstanding our ankle right here. I'm feeling this hip opener. I'm also feeling a toggle in the balance. So this is a great place to start if your balance isn't working so well today. Or we can bring it up on our calf, or perhaps up on our thigh. Taking your option for tree, taking your hands to heart center to start. We're pushing hand into hand. That helps with the stability, but the real stability is in this whole core, not just those six-pack abs that we all have, but the belly button in the spine, tucking the tailbone, pelvis lifting, everything hugging in. And if you're ready, we can take our hands somewhere new. We can take them up. We can take them down. We can take them all around. I've been reading lots of Dr. Seuss stories to my 2- and 4-year-olds in the last few weeks. Arms up. And release. Another fun option if you do have a block is to work on balance on the block. I'm gonna my head's gonna shoot through the screen here. So if you have a block and you want to practice even more balance, you can take that block. Maybe hands into heart center. As you're feeling stable, maybe we're taking our hands somewhere new. You can always clasp your palms, send your palms up to the sky. Maybe you're taking those cow face arms behind you or prayer hands behind you. Maybe just arms up. Maybe you just want to keep hands at heart center. And let's bring it down. Work everybody. Arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Step back. Jump back. Moving through your vinyasa to get to your downward facing dog. However you want to get there is good. And then from our downward facing dog, we're going to roll forward to our high plank. Exhaling as we lower all the way down to our bellies. Arms down by your side, toes together to touch, tops of the feet on the mat. If you're having low back issues this morning, you can bring those feet about hips width distance. If not, keep those toes together. Setting up for our locust, arms down by your side, palms on the mat. On your next inhale, lifting up into locust. Squeezing those thighs together, belly button into spine, all the muscles wrapping around the bone. This is an intense core exercise. Lifting up, remembering to breathe, really lift, and exhale down. Reaching back and grabbing hold of your toes, we're going to take our floor bow. Grabbing a hold of the toes, right at that shoelace line, right underneath the toes. On your inhale, lifting up, making that beautiful teardrop shape. Those toes reaching up overhead. Inhale, really lift. Exhale, release. Windshield wiper those feet back and forth, releasing the low back. And now let's walk up to a tabletop position and then come to standing, setting up for our camel. Taking a little bit of a flowy camel to start. We have our hands on our thighs. Inhale, pop your toes, sorry. Inhale this arm, right arm up, tapping that right heel, sending that left arm up and bringing it down. Inhale, tapping that left heel, arm up and bring it down. Right arm rises, taps that left heel and down. Left arm rises, tap that left heel and down. Now let's take some wide circles with our arms, really opening up the chest and the shoulders. And then reach back. You know where your camel is. Maybe you want to reach back and put your hands on your sacrum. Maybe you know you're going to reach back and grab your heels. Wherever you are, your hips are coming forward. Inhale and lifting up. Exhaling, looking back, camel. Breathing. Reaching back, maybe grabbing a hold of your heels. If you have your heels, your thumbs are in the inside of your heels and they're pushing outward. Notice how that opens up the chest. Look back. Push your hips forward. Inhale as you rise. And down to your heels. Hands on your hip, on your lap. Close your eyes and breathe. Letting all of that anxiety and stress, that disorienting feeling that just came up from camel, let it all go. Now, we did one way with our spine. We're going to go the other way. So let's take our little C-grip hands, bringing our heels out outside of our hips. Moving up our heels with those C-grip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, we're taking the top of our head to the mat. Our forehead's going to be touching our knees. Exhale as you fold forward. Those hips coming up off the heels. And exhale, hips down. Well, let's walk our hands out, sending our hips up to the sky, back to our downward facing dog. Taking our right heel to the sky, bringing it forward for resting half pigeon. Right shin parallel to the short side of the mat. Bring those hips down. If you have a block, grabbing a little of that block. If you're feeling your right hip is too far off the mat, you can place that block there. You can also use the block to rest your forehead on. Either way, release and relax into this hip opener. Holding here for several breaths. I think that we can all agree that movement is helping us, but sometimes when we're in these moments of stillness, it's when the thoughts and anxieties can start to roar in our heads. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of fear of the unknown. But right now in this moment, while you're taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul, there is nothing that you need to do but breathe. The to-do list that you feel you have, or maybe that you wish you had right now, it's non-existent. Let it all go and release into this pose. Nothing else for you to do but breathe. Let's inhale and slowly rise. Perhaps you want to take a king pigeon or a mermaid. Left leg back. Maybe you can hook that elbow coming into that mermaid pose. Releasing. Back toward downward facing dog, sending that right heel up to the sky, bending the knee, opening up the hip, and then that right foot comes down. Left heel rises, leaning forward, resting half pigeon on the left. Be mindful that one side might feel more open than the other. So if you didn't need a block on the right, but maybe you do want one on the left. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling. Holding here for 4 breaths. Slowly rise. We want to take that king pigeon and that mermaid on this side. Taking that right foot back. And releasing. Planting our hands. Pushing back toward downward facing dog. Sending that left heel to the sky. Maybe we bend the knee. Opening up that hip a little bit more. We're in our downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Fill up. Empty. Let's walk step or jump our feet to our hands. We're going to come to a seated position, extending our feet out in front of us. Arms up overhead. Identify those peace fingers with a flat back, reaching forward, grabbing hold of those big toes if you can. If you want a little extra, you can put that block behind your feet and maybe pull. But feel that stretch up your low back, up through your legs. Really reach and stretch. And release. Let's bring our left foot into our right thigh. Arms up overhead, clasping your fingers, making that basket grip. Taking that basket grip around your right foot, bending your knee as much as possible to get your forehead to your knee. For Janu Shasasana, forehead to knee pose. If you're able to straighten out your leg and keep your forehead to your knee, that's cool, but that's not necessary. Do what you need to get your forehead to your knee. That is the most important part of this pose. And fun fact, when you have your forehead to your knee, if you feel that difficulty to swallow moment happening, that's actually boosting your metabolism. And rise up. Let's bring our right foot into our left thigh, taking that basket grip around the toes. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale as we rise up, extending both feet out, and now we're going to lower down to our backs. Bending your knees and bringing your heels close to your feet. We're going to take our right ankle onto our left knee, arms down by our side. Let's ground through this left heel, lifting our hips up, and exhale down. Inhale to rise, exhale down, inhale lift, exhale release. Bring our arms out to a capital T, and we're going to bring this right foot down towards the left, feeling this twist. Gazing over to the right, perhaps. Maybe you want to take those eagle legs to get a little bit of a deeper twist. Now let's release back to center. We're going to take our left ankle on top of our right knee, arms down by our side as we ground through that right heel, lifting our hips on the inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale as we rise. Exhale, down. And now we're going to take this left foot down to the right. Maybe we take those eagle legs, opening those arms to that capital T, taking this twist. Gazing over the left shoulder. And release. Let's bring the soles of both feet to the ground. Hug your knees into your chest. Hugging the right knee in, sending that left leg long. Bringing that right knee up and around into the armpit, compressing the right side body. Hugging that in. And releasing. Bringing that left knee in, hugging that in. And releasing. Hugging both knees into our chest. Maybe we rock side to side, massaging that lower back. Let's take a happy laughing baby, either grabbing a hold of the soles of your feet, maybe taking peace fingers to the big toes. Try to keep your sacrum and like the back of your neck like on the ground. Really thinking about keeping that spine as flat on the ground as possible as you open up the hips here in this happy laughing baby. Extend our left heel to the sky. Right, feeling that stretch. Let's come back to our happy laughing baby, hugging our knees into our chest as we extend our heels to the sky. Maybe we can grab a hold behind our thighs, maybe our calves, maybe we can reach up and grab a hold of our big toes and feel this stretch. And release. Bring those heels down to the ground. Arms down by your side. Gently closing your eyes. Setting up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. And I'm going to take you through a little bit of a progressive muscle relaxation script, which can help with anxiety. Think about squinching up your toes, crunching your toes, holding that for a few seconds, and then releasing. Now tense up your calf muscles and hold and release. Tensing the thigh muscles, release. Tense your belly, hugging everything in and hold. And release. Make a fist. Feel that tension in your hands, maybe even your lower arms, and release. Tensing the muscles in your upper arms and shoulders, your chest, really feel that tension build, and release. Now taking it into your face, closing your eyes, really squinching up your face muscles, feeling that tension build, and release. Now tensing everything from the top of your head to your toes, hugging everything in, tensing up all the muscles, holding for a few breaths, feeling that tension, and then letting it all go, relaxing down, closing your eyes. Final resting pose, Shavasana. you for taking this time for yourself. Thank you for continuing to support the beautiful hobby of this staff. We love being able to connect with you this way, but I guarantee you we can't wait to see you all in person. The light, the love, the yogi, the student, the teacher in me sees and recognizes the light, the love, the student, and the teacher in each and every one of you. Namaste.